Good evening, friends. Happy Friday. It's the something or other of July. Oh my gosh, it's July. I think it's the 2nd today. I must admit I'm finding it hard to keep up with the days because I am currently in lockdown because there's lots of cases of COVID in Sydney at the moment, and so pretty much the whole of the city and suburbs are all locked down. And yeah, it's just one of those things. We're a week into it and we've got another week to go, so I don't know, hopefully things will get better in the next week. But anyway, it is Friday and I've just spent the day literally doing nothing which I don't feel guilty or bad about. I have been desperate for a break from everything, so I'm really using this time off of work to just relax and just, I don't know, catch up with myself and just chill out and relax and just have days where I just don't do anything and not feel bad about it. So it's now about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and after just sitting down all day, I'm in the mood to be up on my feet and sewing. As I said in my last vlog, when I get the urge, the inspiration, the surge of wanting to sew, I just drop everything and I do it, because that feeling is very far and in between. Is that the right saying? Very far. Yeah, I've said that right, haven't I? When I feel like sewing, I do it. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. So this week I have been doing a lot more sewing because I felt like it, and I am working on my Fresh as a Daisy quilt, and look how many blocks I've done. Oh, yeah, I'm so happy with it. It is so gorgeous. I think it's super sweet. I still have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have another 7 blocks to do until the quilt is finished. I am not doing the one that's on the front. I've chosen to do the modern baby size, I believe. I think it's going to be this one that's on the back. So it's going to have 16 blocks. Is that right? 4, 8, 8, 9, 16. Yeah, 16 blocks. I'm really enjoying it. I'm finding that with each block I'm sort of getting it done quicker because obviously I'm just doing it over and over again, and I'm really enjoying the process. This is a project that I think I've been secretly yearning for. It's just one of those ones where I can just sort of take my time with it and just enjoy the process, which I very much am so. So I'm going to make another block before dinner just to try and do something productive for the day. And yeah, we'll see how far we can get before dinner is ready. I have to say, I shared my little container full of cut bits in my last vlog. I love this. This is so clever. I mean, I just love that I can come to it, pick out my pieces, and then close the lid, and it's all ready for just for the next block, and it's all safe. I will definitely be using this for other projects in the future. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. Okay, well, I'm going to get into this block and I'll see you on the other side. So I'm in the middle of chain piecing some of my units together, and there is a hack that I have discovered that I would like to share with you all. There's possibly a number of you who already know this and already do this, but I've just discovered it myself, and I don't know why it's taking me this long to figure this out. So when I usually do chain stitching and I have all of my little units together like this, I usually use my snips to sort of like snip them all from each other. So the way that I discovered this hack was I couldn't find my scissors, which is very rare for me because I usually know where everything is, but for some reason I couldn't find these, and I just wanted to like cut them right there and then. So I decided to use the little thread cutter on my sewing machine. I'll get you a little bit closer, and yes, I am kneeling on the floor so I can show this to you, but if it wants to focus, I have a little thread cutter here on the side of my machine. And look at this. This is a genius hack. I can just use it like that to cut the threads in between my chain stitched pieces without having to faff around cutting them with my little snips. How genius! It is so quick to do it, and I cannot believe I didn't think of doing it any earlier. And as I mentioned, you possibly already all know this, and you're like, Amanda, we already know about this. How can you be so slow on the intake? But I don't know, for some reason I was just like, hey, let's use that instead, and it's just so much quicker and I love it. So yeah, there's a quick little sewing hack for you if you do lots of chain stitching and can't find your little snips or can't be bothered using snips, and you've got a thread cutter on the side of your machine. Pretty much all sewing machines should. Yeah, you can just cut your little chain stitched units like that and off you go to the next step. Happy days. Good morning, my friends, and happy Monday. It's the 5th of July and I hope you're doing really well. Look what I did over the weekend. It's a beautiful wall full of freshly made daisies and it looks so beautiful. I'm so happy with it. So all 16 blocks are done, and today I'm going to sash them all together and finish the quilt top ready for basting and then quilting. I haven't really given much thought to how I'm going to quilt it. It'll be obviously straight lines, but what sort of straight line design I'm going to do, I'm not sure yet. So that's something we've still got to think about as we piece together. So I'm all ready to go. I cut out most of my sashing, I cut out most of my sashing pieces yesterday, ready to put it all together today. And yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's going to look really great. So that's what we're up to. I've done the sashing on 3 rows. I just have one more row to go. My fingers are so cold. I need to go and have a cup of tea. I'm actually gonna have lunch because it's just gone 1 o'clock. So I really need to warm my digits up because I just can't grip anything and my hands are really dry as well. So cold, dry hands while trying to sash this together is just not happening. But I'm being very patient with it and pinning as I go. But yeah, I need to go warm up a bit. I'm gonna be honest, the sashing is actually taking a little bit longer than what I thought it was going to take. I thought it was going to be a really quick job, but it's actually proving to just be a little bit more trickier than I thought. In the pattern, the longer sashing strips that go from top to bottom, the pattern says you can just use one length of a 2-inch strip, so 2-inch times the width of fabric. But because my fabric has quite a sort of visible, kind of quite a wide selvage edge, it's not going to fit. If I were to just use one full length, you'd see this selvage sort of spot line and it just wouldn't look good. So I'm having to do a join and then piece it all together. So I'm just sort of having to give myself just that one extra step to make the sashing strips longer. And because I'm doing that, I now have a seam that I am now trying to sort of disguise in the quilt top. I'll show you what I mean. So here, this is my seam line where I've joined the 2 sashing strips together, and I've tried my best to sort of match it up with these 2 seam lines from the 2 blocks. So it kind of blends in a little bit. So I'll have one here at the bottom. I've done another one up here on the top, and then with this last sashing piece the seam will be here, so that way I don't have an obvious sort of seam line all along the bottom. Just sort of switches those seam lines up a little bit. And then the other thing that I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to make the border sashing pieces just a little bit bigger. I'm going to make them 3-inch instead of 2-inch. The pattern says to do all of the sashing at 2-inch wide strips. I personally like to have the border just to be just a little bit bigger, just to sort of just balance it out and frame it a little bit more. So that's the other revision that I'm doing. I'm still yet to cut those pieces. I'll do that after I do this last sashing strip, but I will do that after lunch, after I warm up my poor little fingers, because it is really chilly today. Oh my gosh, my patience has been totally tested this afternoon, but look. Sorry, I just got a ruler in my hand. Isn't she lovely? What a gorgeous quilt. It is so sweet. I'm so happy with it. As much as I am happy that it is now finally sashed, it really took a lot of my patience to get this finished today. I don't know. It just took a lot longer than what I was expecting it to take. I think reflecting back on it, it's actually been quite a while since I last sashed a quilt, and I'd possibly just forgotten just how much it takes to sash a quilt, how long it actually takes, and the patience and stuff. So anyway, I think the factors that were really going against me today was, one, having to piece the sashing borders together. I didn't think I had to do that, and that just took a little bit longer. And also, it is so cold and chilly today, and my hands have just been so cold and dry, so I just haven't had any moisture in my hands, so I was having lots of difficulty gripping the fabric, and also because my hands are cold, just using my hands. So I resorted to putting on my quilting gloves. These are my Fons and Porter quilting gloves that I got from Aisha, and I'm glad I actually put them on, because not only did they sort of make my hands a little bit warmer, they have grip, so I was actually able to grip the fabric and actually work with it. I was getting really quite frustrated. Anyway, I really didn't think it was going to take me the whole day to sash this quilt, but it did. I mean, I did have breaks in between, so I really shouldn't complain all that much. I kind of wanted to get it maybe like basted today, which is crazy because I am always the biggest procrastinator when it comes to basting. But now that I have learnt that I can easily baste on my sewing table, there's no excuse. I can very much easily baste now, and it will be done quickly. So that's where I'm going to leave it today. Yeah. My frustration has gotten the best of me, and I need a cup of tea. I just need to chill out and just not take things so seriously. Anyway, I'm making it a bigger thing than it really is. I just didn't think it was going to take all day, and it did. It's just one of those things, you know. I'm like, yeah, it'll be easy. It'll be really quick. I'll do it nice and easy. It'll be just like a nice, easy morning thing, and then in the afternoon I can baste it to get ready to quilt it. But no, wasn't meant to be. Good morning, my friends. Happy Sunday. It is the 11th of July today, and it's my dad's birthday. He's... Actually, no, I'm not going to give away his age. But the sad thing is we're in lockdown, so we are unable to have family over. We can't have friends over. We had it all planned, and people were going to come over for lunch, but unfortunately that is not going to happen because yes, we are still in lockdown. I actually haven't had a look at the cases for today or how many numbers came up. We're really quite intense about it all. If you didn't know, all of Sydney and Greater Western Sydney is in lockdown. We've been in lockdown for 2 weeks because we have an outbreak of the Delta strain of COVID in our community, and like case numbers are getting higher and higher and higher every day, and they put us in lockdown because it's a really contagious variant and people aren't staying home. They're mingling when they're contagious, and so it's getting worse and worse and worse. We did initially have a 2-week lockdown. Now they've extended it another week, so we're about to go into our 3rd week, and there are talks that we will still be in lockdown in August. So I don't know, that's where we're at. I've decided to not go into work because although in my opinion, Spotlight and other general retail is not essential. They have decided to stay open, but I need to do what's best for me and my family, and I've decided to stay home because I need to keep Graham's health and welfare right at the heart of things. He is the most important person in our family, I suppose, when it comes to health wise, and any way to protect him and keep him safe and healthy, that's what I will do. So I have decided to stay home because of that, to protect him, because if I catch it and give it to him, then yeah, that's the end, to be honest. I also live with two older parents who, again, if they were to catch it, I don't think the results would be all that great. Although, in saying that, my parents are half vaccinated. They were vaccinated a couple of weeks ago. Both me and Graham are not yet vaccinated because we're under 40, and there's a whole issue and rigmarole and ridiculous stuff up with our vaccine program here in Australia, which no one is very happy about. So at the moment, people under 40, it's so complicated. I mean, we have the choice of getting the AstraZeneca, but then because there have been some cases where people are getting blood clots and dying, they're not recommending AstraZeneca for people under 40. But then our government has said if you are under 40 and would like to get the AstraZeneca, then you can do it, but it's all at your own choice and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I would like to get vaccinated, but I don't want to get the AstraZeneca one. I possibly will get the Pfizer or the other one, but that's not available to us under 40s until September. So I don't know, like, anyway, it's a big issue here in Australia where our numbers are going up, we're in lockdown, and our vaccine rollout has just been absolute schmozzle. Like, it's just been ridiculous. But we'll keep calm and carry on, as they say, and just, it is what it is. Not much you can do about it. The best thing that I can do is play my part and stay home, follow the health orders, and just do what needs to be done. If I do need to go out, I mean, although that is very heavily restricted at the moment, mask up, check in. We have these check-in codes that we have to use when we go into stores, and yeah, just follow what the government is saying to do. Anyway, let's move on. Like I said, it's my dad's birthday, and we're gonna have like just a nice little lunch. I made him a coconut cake. I will show you in a moment. And yeah, it's just gonna be a really chilled out kind of day, like it has been for the last 2 weeks. My motivation has just like crashed this past week. Like, I've just been procrastinating over everything. As you can see, my beautiful daisy quilt is still up on the wall. I finished this on Monday. That was like 6 days ago, and I still have yet to baste it. I've kind of been procrastinating over it because, one, I was still figuring out how I was going to quilt it, and then the other one was I didn't know what thread to use, like what color thread, whether I should match it with the purple or I should go white. I don't know. I don't have any purple thread, so I've decided to quilt it using a white thread. I have quite a lot of white thread in one of my little cubby hole thingies here. So I've got white thread and I've got a couple more spools there, but I mean, I've got plenty of thread. I won't run out. I might maybe try and baste that later on today. Depends on how I feel. Depends on how I feel after lunch. I've got a nice big smorgasbord of food to consume, so might not happen. I might be a bit too full, you know. One thing I will start doing today is I'm really missing having just a go-to hands-on project, something that I can just sit down in front of the TV and just do without really having to think about it. So I was like, what can I do? I can do an embroidery, but there's nothing really that's kind of sparking the interest at the moment. So I was thinking about it last night, and I just casually was just looking at my hexie quilt that I have on my bed at the moment. I will put the quilt that I'm talking about here up on the screen. It's one that I finished, I think I finished it last year in lockdown. It's one of my favoriteest quilts. It's just got so many great little fabrics on it. It's fun, it's colourful, there's prints clashing. I just love it so much. So I'm just gonna make some more hexies. I mean, why not? I love making hexies and hexie flowers. I have my little tin here. I got this from TK Maxx, and it's a really cool little little tin that's got like cottons and threads and things on it. It's by a brand called Happy Jackson. And it's just such a great little size for all of my hexies that I have done. I actually have some here that I need to baste up. But there are all my hexies, and it's getting kind of low. This used to be like jam-packed full, whereas where I couldn't actually get any more in. So I'm just gonna take some time and make some more hexies, fill this up a little bit more, and then start making some hexie flowers. I do have a whole bunch of scrap fabrics that I usually use for these kind of things. If I have leftover fabric that's about this size, I'll use it for hexies and then make it into a quilt of some sort. So I'm just going to focus on that and see how far I get. I have my little pouch full of all of my accessories. So I have a packet full, oh yes, and another packet. I have a packet full of the templates that I like to use. These ones are by So Easy, and they are the 1.5 size, are they? Is that what that says? Yeah, 1.5 inch. I really like this size. It just seems like a good sort of size to take up quite a lot of fabric, you know? And they make good size flowers too. So that is what's happening in a nutshell at the moment. As I mentioned, I have been struggling to get motivation to stop procrastinating because it's just so easy just to sit and just play Sims all day. Seriously, I really want to tidy up this sewing room. Like, I really want to have a big like purge of stuff, but then at the same time, where is it all gonna go when it's ready to go? Because I can't leave the house. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, that's a whole other thing for a whole nother day to think about. Let's enjoy Dad's birthday today. We'll be here. We're going to be here all day.
You've got the wrong number, and I'm 76.
I don't know why it's not lucky.
Yay!
Hey!
Very good.
I was going to say nearly 77.
Where are those years gone since you were 70?
Yeah, somebody told me.
Oh, let's not do that. Freaks me out.
What you say I was yesterday, 3/4 of a century.
Well, that's true.
There's somebody's 70 next year, aren't they? Hey?
Next year? This year?
Yeah, that's what I said, soon.
Oh, no, you didn't. You said next year. Didn't he?
I don't know, I wasn't listening.
Come on, smile. Right. Can't turn the lights out, sorry.
God, turn the lights out.
Oh, no, we don't want that.
Never mind, turn them on.
Might mean the end.
Keep them on.
End of the world. Anyway. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dad. Happy birthday to you. Hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
Hey!
Let him out. Oh.
I was going to say, you'll be 76 by the time you do blow them out.
Oh, very good.
Oh, I caught that so well.
Thought those were the candles that keep going.
Oh, I like that. It was like mid-like blow. I like it. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. It is now a little bit later on in the day, and I thought I'd take a moment to share with you a few favorites, just a few little sewing gadgets that I have been favoriting over the last couple of weeks. As you know, I've been doing a lot of sewing, and so what comes with that is using some sewing gadgets, notions, things. So my scarf is annoying me, so I wanted to share them with you because they're things that I haven't really used all that much, or haven't really given the chance to use and see if they were actually any good. I gave them a go and really liked them. So the first one is, you may have actually seen me use it. It was in my last vlog, maybe in this vlog. I can't remember what I've actually filmed for this vlog, but I used this fun little Fiskars rotary mat. See, it spins like so. This one is a 7-inch mat. It's by Fiskars, and I just found it really helpful when I was cutting out the corner units for the daisy blocks. The good thing about this pattern is you don't have to be totally exact when you're piecing the unit pieces together, but obviously when you're piecing the block together you have to be quite precise. But when cutting these sort of corner parts, you don't have to be all that precise, but at the same time you kind of need to be precise at the same time, you know what I mean? And I just found using this was helpful just to sort of keep my ruler on top of the unit, cut it and then spin it, and it still be in the same place. And that's essentially what a rotary mat is for. It just gives you more control of the block not moving, or the unit not moving when you're trying to precisely cut it. I've never really given this very much of a chance. I did actually have another one. It was a big Rolfe one and it didn't really last very well. I don't know whether it was just bad quality or not, but the top of it didn't last very well. It all cut up and it just wasn't very good. I really enjoyed using this and I found it really helpful. That's a big favorite. And then the other favorite is on my little ruler here. Can you see it? Can you see it? I'm talking about these little template grips that are here on the back of my ruler. It's these ones specifically. These are by Birch and I just got these at Spotlight. I do have to say they were quite expensive just for a tiny little, like, this is like this tiny little sheet of like these gripper dot things, and it was expensive. It was like almost $20 just for this, but I'd have to say they're kind of worth it. So essentially what they are is the template grips. So you put the little grippies on the back of your template ruler and it just stops the ruler from like slipping all over the place, all over the fabric when you're trying to sort of cut something quite precise. And it's sort of, sometimes when you're doing that it can kind of like slip and you're like, oh no, and you have to try and line it up again and all that sort of stuff. So as I was using my cutting mat, I was finding that my rulers were slipping, so I was like, let's try the template grips. I bought them, spent a small fortune on it. Let's see if they actually work, and they do. To a certain extent they do work. So yeah, I just found putting those little grippies on my ruler very helpful. I only put it on these two corners. I don't know why, I just sort of wanted to try it out first. The only thing that I don't like is that they're slightly raised, and just that small slight raise, I mean, like, it's the most tiniest little minuscule raise in the ruler from the surface of the cutting mat. It just makes a small difference. I know I see the difference, but I don't know. The combination of those two things when I was cutting was really very helpful. And then also using the small rotary blade. This is the, I should know, 16 mil, 18 mil, 12 mil. It's the little one. Can never remember the size of rotary blades. Will it tell me on the actual blade? No, I don't want to do that. But yeah, I've been finding that the little classic stick, this is the Fiskars classic stick rotary blade, just really helpful just for cutting all of my little units as I was making my daisy blocks. So yeah, this is just some very simple, really basic quilting tools that I've just been really favoriting and loving and found really helpful when I was making my blocks. Hello my friends and happy Tuesday. I have just been editing this vlog and I realized I didn't do like a bit where I say thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next vlog. So that's what I'm doing now. I thought I would leave this vlog here because today I'm actually going to start basting the quilt. So I thought I'd do like a lockdown sewing vlog part 1 and then like a part 2. So you'll see the finished quilt in part 2, hopefully, if I get it done. But I'm going to try my very best to motivate myself to baste my beautiful daisy quilt today and maybe try and get some quilting done. But I hope you enjoyed watching this vlog and enjoyed me just rambling on about goodness knows what. I talked a lot in this vlog, but you know, it is what it is. I needed someone to talk to and you're it. I'm also struggling with the focus on this camera, which is really annoying me, but you know, I'll deal with it. Thank you all so much for watching and I will definitely see you all again very soon. Bye bye.